Hello, it's jessicaamaladawn, and I am back for the Divine Masculine Weekly for November, we'll just say November 10th, I guess at this point, to November 17th. And I am very excited to be here. We've got just around the corner the 1111 Gateway Portal, which is bringing in all sorts of beautiful, very high frequency plasma light codes into the collective energy, raising the frequencies to a very high vibration, bringing in a lot of DNA upgrades that are really creating a beautiful tipping point into like all of the balance energies and ascension energies that are opening up for people at the front edge of the consciousness evolution journey into a lot of like light and love and rewards for the journey. It's a very exciting time. The divine masculine energy is really lightening up. There's a lot of releasing of things that they didn't even know were hidden under there, speaking of specifically for some predominantly masculine energy people, beings, and things to do with their past, childhood traumas, difficult emotions that were hard to reach, things they didn't even know, I think, that were still under there are coming up to be cleared. And that is allowing them to feel more than ever like they can really be themselves, and that they are feeling a lot more authentic, genuine, soft, authentic, and at peace. And somehow is that, and then all of a sudden, like, the woman that he's been waiting for is like right there. It's just like, oh, she's just right there. And something magical happens and occurs. So I think that at this point, that is a good place to, get into the cards and let the cards give a little bit more detail on that energy. And yeah, we're going to start actually with the Akashic Tarot to get the overall energy. So thank you for joining. It's great to have you here. It's great to be live. It's great to be shining the light and sharing the light. I had such an amazing week in Mexico. I connected with some absolutely phenomenal people through this beautiful coaching group called Next Level Coaches. If you are called yourself to do coaching work and are looking for some very high vibe people to get some, training from, I highly recommend it. And you can, ask me about that and I can give you more information. So let's get into the cards. So what's the overall energies for the divine masculine for the week? What else is the overall energy for the masculine for the week? And what else is the energy for the masculine? These two flip. Oh, okay. So yeah, so the first card is the Two Worlds, and this is all about trying to balance between two different things. This is all about hello, thank you for being here. And so we've got here two worlds, and this is all about like trying, what we have in the background that's a little hard to zoom in if you can see it better. Well, it's a little hard to see, but there's a Buddhist monastery outside of the window. But meanwhile, she's inside, tending to her work. And on the counter, you have all of her gold coins. So she's really tending to the material world and creating, her financial wealth and her material abundance through her work. But there's this calling to go inside into this world of retreat, of meditation, of spirituality, and not really knowing at this point how to fully integrate the two when this card is upright. So, I think that this probably is an energy that is maybe a little bit more present still at the beginning of the week. But we've got two other cards that are super positive that really lift everything up, because Archangel Michael's energy is here very powerfully to help lift up the divine masculine collective and help them to fully embrace their power, their strength, their truth. And a lot of that truth has to do with what is outside of the window that they've been ignoring and putting aside because of the push for creating financial abundance through their work, and not really in that being fully in their power. But now with Archangel Michael really coming online, it's forcing them to step into their power in a much bigger way. And what that's allowing them to do is really step out of the karmic cycles and those work cycles this week. And, a lot of this has to do also with, the control of the cabal and the cabal forces on the masculine, that perpetuating them to be stuck in these work cycles through this intense programming around their value being tied to their ability to be a provider, a financial provider. And so we've got, that beautiful gift of this energy of Archangel Michael coming in to help release that karmic cycle so that they can move forward. Really positive, really beautiful. And this card also came out this week for the Divine Feminine in reverse. So it's a lot of what was keeping everything stuck in a lot of respects on both sides of a lot of these connections, these soul partnerships, or just, in terms of each, the feminine and the masculine's ascension journey is really being released in order to move into a period of actually now like harvesting and receiving and coming into wishes fulfilled from a soul level, from this inner perspective, from the soul perspective. So it's very beautiful overall energy. So I'm being called to pull from, actually, I'm being called to pull from the same Akashic Tarot for getting a little bit of information on their energies for the week. I don't know. I might pull some Rider-Waite as well, but let's start here. That's what they're asking me to do. So the beginning of the week energy for the masculine, and the middle of the week energy for the masculine. Yeah, and the end of the week energy for the masculine. Okay, yeah. So it starts off, and what do we want? They want me to pull some magical dimensions cards to go with this, actually, which is super interesting. So what do we got for the beginning of the week and the middle of the week for the masculine? What's the middle of the week? Got 2. And the end of the week for the masculine. What's going on? Okay, cool. So so the beginning of the week is like super, super powerful. We've got here the Queen of Forces upright, and then that's combined with inspirational creation, which is alchemy, the elements, and innovation. So you could see like both of these beautiful feminine figures are working like with their hands to create magic through the balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies. They really are functioning as magicians. So it's almost like they feel like they're really tapping into the power of their divine feminine energy and like that yin internal energy that they've been in the past kind of not fully embracing. And that is what's like, with the help of Archangel Michael, and that's really helping them to step into their power to really create and become, the feminine magician, right? Because there's both women on this card. So, the feminine magician. I think it's really beautiful. And I think really, recognizing also the value of working with the feminine in creating, a lot of the magic that they have been wanting, I think, to create for a long time, and seeing really the value of the feminine perspective in the role of manifestation more than they ever have. It's really gorgeous energy. And then we've got for the middle of the week, we have the Queen of Roses. And this is all about, you know, this is a card of like the mother, the loving mother. So I think, you know, I especially with the title that I was channeled, which is The Woman He's Been Waiting For Is Here. You know, this is that woman. This is the woman that he wants to be with. And this is somebody who he wants to have a family with. This is the ideal partner, especially coming upright. And so something about this activation, like I said, is just like all, you know, after having done that healing work is just like, oh, and here she is. And so what came with that is we've got harmonic resolution. And it says here negativity, anger, transmutation. So I think this just confirms what I was saying about in the pre-cards about that I was channeling about the healing process, and just how doing that opens things up immediately to seeing this person. I think it's just confirmation of that. And then with it, we've got the guardians, shielding, defense, and warning. And this is and interestingly enough, there's also a raven on this card, just like the feminine had a raven on their one of their cards. So I would say like there is a lot of, again, in general, like psychic opening and magical abilities, like kind of opening up this week for the masculine and the feminine. From a higher perspective. And I think this is just like a reminder that the masculine still needs to provide themselves with that extra protection at this time as they're opening to these energies, to ensure that there's no negative interference from, it could be from like potentially some past influences in their life that might want to keep them stuck in that karmic cycle, that karmic trench. So, I mean, ways that that can happen have to do with creating light orbs and sending them to yourself that are full of, diamond plasma frequencies. That's a really great way to do it. If anyone wants any help with that, you can let me know and I can give you some guidance. And also, flower essences for protection are really great as well. One of the best ones that I know to protect against to provide a really strong umbrella of protection that's very playful and youthful, which I think is, in alignment with this inspirational creation energy, is elephant ears. So if, it might not be easily available, but that's something that I can assist you with if you want help. So we've got for the end of the week, that was really beautiful energies and very exciting. We've got here the Ascent in reverse combined with the Root Portal upright. And it says here vitality, stability, survival, and then fearful. So really what this is all about is this, it's coming back to this overall energy of the two worlds and like being having been in that energy of feeling like having to do certain work in order to feel safe, in order to feel stable, in order to feel abundant, and in order, because of like issues around the root chakra of not feeling those things, and that really coming to a level of resolution by the end of the week. And what's going to happen with that is some sort of previous work that where they were doing some sort of more egoic based expansion and evolution is coming to a close. And that's whether it's from their own will or whether it's imposed on them. I feel like more like this is by choice with the energies this week, especially with Archangel Michael coming in. But I mean, it might be not by choice. But either way, it's there's a strong empowerment of the root chakra and feeling safe without these old financial crutches that's really coming online. And for the feminine, the masculine energy in a woman is also going to like be feeling this week, and that's really positive to see this energy coming into the collective to help with resolving this, because I know I have felt this energy as well. From the masculine energy I do have, And it's difficult, and it's really been like one of the key lynch points has been holding things back from fully moving into this like fulfilled wishes energy for both the masculine and the feminine. So it's really beautiful. Let's pull a little bit of Rider-Waite for the advice, and then maybe a fairy card. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Yes, I saw a raven on a car as well yesterday. Stacy, I saw a raven on a car yesterday. So I'm right there with you. And I don't normally see ravens on cars. So it's very relevant messages from the animal spirits about really connecting to our higher perspective, you know, letting go of this whole climb in the world to achieve in a more physical way, so that letting go of that so that we can have that more spiritual ascent and really see the cosmic truth of things, and really opening up our multidimensional abilities to connect to Lemuria, to connect to all the realm beings, and really open up to the magic is what's really happening in that, which is beautiful. And it doesn't have to be all hard work. A lot of it is the inner work that's creating those more smooth manifestation shifts. So, okay, so let's find out what's the advice now for the masculine for the week. And what's the advice for the masculine for the week? And what's the advice for the masculine for the week? Yeah, okay, this makes a lot of sense. So the first card is the Ten of Wands, and then, but what we have right after is the Ace of Wands in reverse. I think it just makes sense to show these all together because it's all a combined message. And then we've got the Eight of Cups. So really what's going on like with all of this energy is that whatever has been like job-wise going on in the masculine energy that's, we'll just say like weighing things down and creating a lot of burdens and heaviness and tiredness and exhaustion is being like released, and you know, kind of like walking away to find that ultimate fulfillment, because whatever was going on, you know, in that more material financial realm, it was not it wasn't passionate, and it was draining, and it wasn't like it maybe it had its merits, but it was also not providing to everything, because it wasn't providing them with that full emotional and spiritual fulfillment. And as a result, because it wasn't like well-rounded in that sense, they were getting really, really weighted down and drained by it. And so it's time, you know, the advice is like to just honestly, for the masculine energy, whether it be in you or in a counterpart or just the masculine collective in general, is to like let that go. It's time to let it go and to be going for what is most fulfilling. And I think this, you know, seeing this the Eight of Cups, it's really confirming what I thought about like this like release being by choice through a feeling of like more safety in the root chakra, and through having resolved some deeper like childhood wounding in the masculine self, that's like allowing them to see the value, like, you know, who they really love, what they really want, and why that is actually the most important thing over whatever was like making them put this career stuff first. I think it's a pretty strong, clear message. And, you know, we're not even at 20 minutes. I love it. So what else wants to come through? Lightworker card for the masculine. That's beautiful. So let's get one. All right. These are by Alana Fairchild. Let's see these comments. Yeah, the kitty is waving. This is Isabella. So, okay. So what do we need to know about the spiritual process going on in the masculine this week. Oh, wow. 2 cards literally flew out of the deck. Interesting. So we got Family of Light, number 17. And then the other card that flew out is An Invitation to Connect. I love it. Number 19. So, yeah. So we've got an 8 card, a 10 card. So in terms of how they add up. So yeah, in both cases, like there's a lot of higher self activation. There's a lot of crown chakra opening, and you can even see here, it kind of looks in this Invitation to Connect card like almost like this character could be making a light orb, like I had mentioned earlier, and they could be sending that to themselves. And yeah, they're really like opening up and connecting with the higher dimensions. Like this could be, Emerald City. I know that in meditation today, I connected with a divine masculine energy and connected very strongly to the Emerald City energy, and really like gridded that and brought that down into my conscious awareness, which is beautiful. So I think that, the fact I would imagine like that's probably, coming online for the masculine as well in their own way. And yeah, like that land outside their window, that spiritual richness, that deeper purpose from a more spiritual place is fully inviting them this week. And like I had already kind of, spoke about, and it's really causing them to make a major choice of releasing something that was preventing them from doing that. And, I think that this Family of Light card is just really confirming the role that the angelics are having in assisting with this and with their soul family. But, what we have on the card is really, I really see the higher self, and I see guardian angels really helping in the Elohim. And, on the feminine side, we had Archangel Metatron come through as well. And I think that's probably relevant here as well. So definitely, through that beautiful process on 11/11, right around the corner of going deep into meditation and making these connections, a lot of things are going to pop. A lot of codes are going to come in. You can kind of see all those codes coming in here. It's going to have a lot of epiphanies that are going to lead to beautiful connections, insights about the role, importance of the feminine, who their feminine is, and leading to wishes fulfilled. So, I could keep going, but I really feel like it's saying a lot of the same, and it's like, it's clear. And so I'm going to end it at that. I think that, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull a Lemurian card, and then I'm going to call it a close, because I feel like the messages have been super clear, and there's just no point going over things over and over to just keep reiterating the same thing just for the sake of it being longer. So let's see what we've got for the Lemurian Starchild Oracle for the masculine energy for the week, to really help them with, their meditations and bringing them up into the highest frequencies of light and love and oneness. Oh, beautiful. Nurture. And then it says self-healing, ruby ray, birthing the new earth. And just, to actually clarify that, in my meditation today, I saw a divine masculine. It was actually like holding and creating in their hands the earth, like a beautiful light earth, just like that. It wasn't inside of the rose, but they created that beautiful earth. So I feel like that's very, very strong message that the masculine is really connecting with that energy of nurturing Gaia, nurturing the feminine this week more than ever, more than they've ever been able to, because of this whole karma around work and around money and these old ideas of their role, because they're really understanding the value of the feminine in the alchemical process, and also, in the nurturing process, and how the feminine has been able to, like, by opening up to the feminine, how that's been nurturing them to fully heal and, you know, work together to do this bigger mission work that's very inspired. So this energy is also very strongly connected to Mother Mary, her energy, and Mary Magdalene as well. So it could be interesting for the masculine this week to tap into that and really feel that divine feminine energy more powerfully than they've ever been able to before, as one of their activations into becoming like truly abundant. But I really want to note that, like, I in doing my divine feminine and my divine masculine readings this week, I actually feel like there's a culmination of success for the masculine in the arena of the feminine energy, and vice versa. I see very much a culmination of the success of bringing on and birthing the masculine energy for the feminine. That was it was really coming through in the feminine reading this week. So they're each having successes and wins in the incoming, you know, into the opposite energy, and that bringing about the balance that's really needed to have the wishes fulfilled. And we did get those on cards coming up in the feminine reading to really confirm that. So I think these messages are really awesome, exciting. It's going to be an amazing week. If you want to check out a very, very powerful activation, I highly recommend looking up Maureen Moss, registering for her email newsletters. If you want to participate live in her 11/11 activation, you will need to sign up for that right away so that you can get her emails. You can only sign up for those activations through her newsletter. I don't normally promote other people, but these are truly special. She has amazing activations that are one of a kind, like no other, and they are not overly expensive, and it will be something that will truly change your life for the better. So I'm sending you lots of love. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Please reach out if you have any questions, if you want a reading. And, you know, if you are watching this in the future, like later on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe. It will help me out a lot. Have a wonderful day.